to call upon you, Aarti Khuraana, who is the founder of the Mystic Mile. Please.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me? All right, good afternoon. I'm really happy to be here to be able to share my story with all of you. I was a bit nervous because this is my first speaking event, but I was like, I think I can do this. So I'm from Mumbai. I've spent a lot of my formative years in the US. I moved to the US when I was about 15, and it was a really hard time for me because I grew up in a very turbulent atmosphere at home with my dad, and my mom somewhere wanted to just send me away to study in the US because she just thought it would be a more healthy environment for me. So I studied there, and then I moved back, and I joined the corporate world. It was about in 2001. And I used to work as an executive assistant, and I would report to C-suite executives. So I would work with CEOs, managing directors, and I'm sure a lot of you here know how chaotic it can be to manage the offices of such senior people. So I kind of went about doing it, but I don't think that I felt any joy in it. Like when you start off, right, especially when you're young, what do we all want to do? Make money, right? So it was someone randomly who told me that EAs get paid a lot of money, and I was like, okay, I'll go for it. And that's how I started. And then it was one job to another, and I just kept moving jobs because the money was good, and at that point that's all I cared about. But you reach a certain point in your life where you want to do something that makes you happy. You want to find joy and passion in the work that you do. And that's when I was like, what, this is not what I want to do anymore. I want to do something where I can help people. And I also follow a spiritual practice which is all about praying for ourselves, praying for others. So I do have a strong spiritual side to me as well. So I just decided that no, I didn't want to do this anymore, and I really want to find my calling, whatever that is. So, but growing up in not a very healthy environment at home, there are a lot of times you question yourself, right? Like when you don't have that sort of maybe love that you would have wanted to get from your father, you have validation issues. You're like, am I going to be good enough? Will I be successful? So there were so many questions that went through my head, and then I said, no, I have to find what, my heart desires. And I had learned tarot many, many years ago. It was more something that I did because I enjoyed it. And I went to every tarot card read in the city, and I was like, "Me shadi ka bhogi, when is my work going to take off?" Like we all do as young girls, right? And then someone along the way had told me that I'm really intuitive as a person and that I should probably do this myself. So that was something I did on the side for many, many years, but it wasn't my full-time profession. So when I reached this juncture of I don't want to do this work anymore in the corporate world, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to just follow what I love, and I'm going to do tarot full time. Of course, there are so many things that go through your mind at that time, right? Because it's like you're used to getting a paycheck at the end of every month. You're used to having that stability. And I was like, okay, am I going to be able to do it? But I think that's the time that perseverance comes in, and when you're very passionate about something that you want to do, you'll just do it. When women used to talk about it earlier, that, you can do anything you want, you just have to feel it. I always thought it's some line that people are giving. But when I figured it out in my own life, I was like, no, this is something that I love, and I'm going to do it. So I started off doing tarot for my friends, family, and then I'm very grateful. I've had great people in my life who really helped me sort of get my name out there, promote it. And over time, of course, it starts off with being word of mouth, but at the end of the day, the credibility goes to you because it's also how good you are with your work. And, I started getting more and more clients. I started getting, a lot of readings, a lot of, word of mouth. And then after a point, I was like, okay, tarot is good, but I want to add something more to this. Like what Fatima said, you have to keep upgrading yourself. So I was like, okay, what else can I do? So I was like, okay, maybe I should do healing because it kind of goes hand in hand, right? Tarot is a guidance. Like I always tell people, you create what you want. Tarot is just guidance. Healing is a solution. So it's like a one-stop shop for anything that you're sort of lost about in life. So then I did one class after another, and I became very sort of good in the field of healing that I do. And, today I'm here and I'm sharing my journey with all of you. It was one really bad boss for me to say, this is it. And I just had to have faith in myself. And I'm really happy. I would never look back. There are a lot of people, who've asked me along the journey that, if you had to go back in time, would you want to be a working professional? And I said, no, never. I'm happy with who I am. Thank you.